Oh, good morning all. Okay, I've had it running. Sounded really good actually. I want to say it sounded really good. It was bloody loud, I tell you. So it's got it running straight out of the headers, but yeah, very crisp. Like it revved very quickly, very crisp. But yeah, it sounded real good. I only ran it for like a couple of minutes. That's all I was able to because I wound it over and over, almost ran the battery flat. Could not get it to draw fuel out of the tank. So then I went through all my drums. I found a little bit of fuel in one of the drums, which was about a cupful, enough to fill the bowl up in the carby. In these quadrajets, shall I show you? They're an odd sort of carby. Your fuel bowls are right in the centre of it. They're in between your two primary or smaller venturis. Your venturis are your tubes that govern how much air goes in. Right. So this here, this is your fuel bowl. It's only got a very small fuel bowl. That's some of the complaints you get about Rochester's, which isn't a problem for me. I'm not driving it flat out. I'm not racing it, dragging it. But I have heard reports that, yeah, they run out of fuel because the bowl's not big enough. But anyway, yeah, this is the breather. So I managed to fill the bowl up through this tube, and it fired up straight away. Yeah, ran real nice. Sounded very good. I didn't film it because I knew there'd be a lot of farting around and whatever, and it was, as I said, I wound it over for ages trying to get it to draw fuel up, and then even after I got it running, it still didn't draw fuel up. So and I started testing different things. I got me big syringe on the line. I tried to suck it through, nothing. Went out, disconnected it from the tank. Yeah, drew it up from the tank fine. And then I realised, the breather tube is blocked. It's funny, all the hoses, the rubber hoses, fuel hoses. Yeah, I checked them, blew air through them and everything. I didn't think to check the middle ones. Anyway, the breather tube's totally blocked, so that wouldn't have been helping things. I've got to try and... I tried to blow through it back in the tank full length, and it won't do that. So yeah, I've got to separate. There's a couple of junctions in the breather hose. I think there's 2 junctions. Yeah, I think it's in 3 sections. So anyway, I'll separate them from the junctions, find out which one's blocked. But and the other thing that I did, see, I tried to pressurise the tank through the breather hose to get the fuel started. Anyway, that didn't work. As I said, that was blocked. So then I took the cap off, wrapped it a rag, this bit of towel, round my blower, pressurised the tank. Probably a little too much. I should actually use the other compressor and turn it down. Yeah, I think 100 pounds is probably a bit too much to be putting in a fuel tank. I did hear it sort of popping a bit, so yeah. If I try it again, I'll be running it through the regular. I'll turn it down to 50 pounds instead of 100. But anyway, what happened then is I discovered there was a leak, and there's a leak just under here. There's a crack in the line, and because I'd started the fuel, it just kept siphoning out of the tank and was just pouring out on the ground. And lucky I'd already jacked it up. I decided I'm going to put the exhaust back on. But yeah, so I then had to jump under there and quickly disconnect it from the tank before it, siphoned everything out of the tank. I didn't even have anything big enough to stick under there and catch it with. I suppose I could have put an ice cream bucket under it. Yeah, but it was sort of the way it was leaking. It was spraying onto the frame and it was dripping on all different places anyway. So yeah, probably wouldn't have saved much of it. But yeah, it took me about 5 minutes to get the hose off the tank and stop it running. By that time I had a huge puddle of petrol under the car. So yeah, I had to open all the doors, windows in the middle of the night, and fortunately it's summer, not freezing cold, and yeah, try and defume the place. So yeah, before I can attempt to start it again, I'm glad it didn't leak. Yeah, well it wouldn't have, because we couldn't draw it through because it was just sucking air, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't start leaking while I had it running, because it probably would have lit up. Probably would have burnt the thing to the ground in the shed as well, because yeah, so it was blowing just straight out of the headers, and yeah, if that puddle of fuel had been there, it would have ignited it. So yeah, that was rather fortunate, I suppose. Anyway, I started looking. I don't know how I managed it, but I've got tube left over. I don't know if it's fuel pipe, breather pipe, or what. Yeah, the reality is I should have put the fuel line back on before I put the body back on the chassis. Yeah, because I was on there trying to, and all the bends didn't seem to match up with anything, and I was trying to straighten them and trying to do this and trying to do that, and they didn't fit that well anyway. So, but anyway, I had this piece of pipe left over, so whether it even came off this, I've stripped out a few cars over the years, so it might have been left over from some other car. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll put a bit of heat on it and try and straighten it up without kinking. And which one's that? Yeah. So this bit I managed to straighten up, no problem. That was a 90-degree bend. So you can put heat, you can retain your shape. As long as you're gentle, you do it slowly with a whole lot of heat, and you can retain your shape. You can pull bends out or put bends in without kinking it using heat. So, yeah. Anyway, when I got to here, before I even tried to straighten a bend, as soon as I put heat on it, all these cracks started appearing. So, yeah, this is the condition of my whole fuel pipe, and it's probably all of it's probably got cracks in it. So after seeing that, yeah, like what I was planning to do was pull out the fuel line and then unblock the breather line, run the fuel through the breather line, and then just run a bit of hose for the breather for the time being. And like all this was going to be temporary. After seeing all this and after all these issues, I'm going to replace the fuel lines anyway and the breather line. But yeah, so after seeing that, I'm not even going to attempt to use the breather line now for the fuel. So I went digging out around my scrap bin, found some copper tube, a little bit bigger, like that's probably, I suppose it's probably 3/8. I don't know what size that is, but this is just slightly bigger, but that's okay, better than being smaller. So, anyway, this is copper. As I said, I found out my copper bin, and it had been, bent up and everything, so I've had to heat this again and, straighten it up. So, that's what's going to be going on it for the time being. If I can't unblock this heater pipe, I'll just put a bit of hose. I've got a bit of clear hose somewhere rolled up fairly. This sort of stuff, I had like 20 metres of it, so there's got to be more of it somewhere. But, yeah, that'll do for the time being for breather line. You know, as I said, I'll replace them all eventually, but before it goes on the road anyway. For the time being, it'll be good enough for breather. Yeah, I mean, there's no fuel coming through, there's only fumes. Or, yeah, not even that much. It's basically air going in. You don't get that much coming out. So, not enough to affect it anyway. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. One thing too. When you're, if you're trying to straighten out or put bends in it with heat, just have a little bit of a think about what you're actually trying to do. See, and what the metal's got to do. Now, to take this bend out, you sort of compress that a little bit, but more than compressing the outer side, you're stretching the inside. So you basically want to concentrate your heat on the inside. Like, you have to get the whole thing fully hot anyway, but they want the concentration of your heat on the part that has to stretch. And like you'd put it in a vise, and then, well, don't pull on it hard, because that's where you will kink it. And then heat it. Just put a very light amount of pressure, and when it's hot enough, it'll just move real easy. So yeah, can't actually give you a demo because I'm pretty much out of gas. Yeah, only got the map gas, that yellow bottle up there. And, yes, the second head I bought, the igniters. They don't last very long. I get 6 months out of an igniter, and it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, and it's really difficult to just light it with a flame. Yeah, you got to sort of get it'll either blow it out or just won't light. But yeah, so I don't know what the go is with them. But, yeah. Anyway, so that's all I use, and it does work. But as I said, yeah, get it hot. When it's hot, it'll just move real easy. So yeah, don't pull on it hard, or you'll kink it. All right, so that's enough for this morning's ramble. Yeah, as I follow from the previous video, where I preset the timing. I must have got it pretty close, because it fired up real easy and it sounded good. And yeah, so I said I will recheck it when I get it running, warmed up, and yeah, get a look at my instruments and make sure I got pressure, oil pressure, and the temperatures okay, and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'll get it warmed up, and yeah, then we'll check the timing again and see how close we are. But yeah, it's got to be pretty close, or it wouldn't have run the way it did. So yeah. Anyway, I will make a video of that when I get all this fuel problem sorted out, and get it running and idling, and where it will stay running. And then we'll hook time and light up again and just see how accurate it was. Alright, thanks for watching and listening to me rambling on. So yeah, still in my jammies, as usual, outside mucking around in my jammies. Now, yeah. So yeah, alright, hopefully we'll catch you again. Bye.